Before we get started with this video, please note that I am an amateur when it comes to body and paint work. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of doing some experiments and seeing how it's turning out. And this is my second video on this. So take my advice lighthearted and you know, you're kind of on your own if you try this stuff yourself, following me, because I really don't know what I'm talking about. So don't try to hold me accountable, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. About a month ago, I decided to try to fix some paint issues on my Bel Air. And I had a little spot here, and I kind of went after it with some enamel paint and a pre-val. And while the color turned out really good, the application of the paint did not. So if you haven't seen that video, I'll link it in the description. You can go back and check it out. It was a learning experience, but the good thing is I did put enough paint on it now that I think I'm ready to sand this. And just to give a little bit more info on it, I really probably should have used a urethane single stage paint, but the paint shop gave me a acrylic enamel, and acrylic enamel takes about a month to harden up. So I've been waiting for a while to try to wet sand this thing to see if I can't get the finish better on it. So it's been a month. It's time for me to get some sandpaper out and kind of get this thing done. I've already obviously kind of taped it up. I'm taping it up just to protect the paint that's around it. I left a little bit of a gap. I'm just thinking that maybe that's going to be something that I can do to protect myself from messing too much stuff up. But I'm going to get everything together here. Spray bottle, I'm going to go get some sandpaper, and I'm going to even get some glass cleaner, which is an alcohol-based glass cleaner, so I can really prep the surface. So I think we're just going to kind of dive straight into this one and kind of get busy with it and see what we can do about fixing this paint. So y'all wish me luck, and let's get started. Okay, let's start here. Spray away glass cleaner. Like I said, it's an alcohol-based cleaner that works really good for pulling all kinds of oils off paint. Kind of got it outside the realm there, but I'm going to get this nice and clean. Probably need to stop going back and forth and just go one way so I can get ready to sand this deal. That's easy enough. Now let's get into the sanding. So what I have here, I thought I had a better step down, but don't. But I've got an 800 grit and a 2000 grit. Ideally, I'd have a 1500 between these. But maybe I'm just gonna have to sand a little bit more with the 2000 to get the results that I want. But I'm gonna start with this 800. And this is just stuff I bought from the store. That sheet's seen better days, so I'm not gonna use that one. Little soft sanding pad. And I'm gonna use this 800. I'm just gonna kind of pull it over to keep it in place. Doing the soft sanding pad because I don't wanna use my fingers to put like a different pressure around it to change the way it smooths out. So, but before we go ahead and just kind of get after it, you know, put some water on it. We're gonna go. Here goes nothing. So I'm actually getting some pretty good progress here. That 800 is knocking it down, kind of making it smooth. You can see more areas of flat red than the raised shiny stuff. So the shinier it is, I still got to kind of knock it down some. But it's actually working pretty good. It's getting a lot smoother. It's looking real good up here. I'm trying to kind of grab this character line, just really light and easy up here. But yeah, it's working pretty good. So I'm gonna keep going. I'm probably gonna make one more pass with 800, and then you're gonna see me come in here with the 2000 and really smooth it out. A lot more here at the front from the overspray kind of stuff, so it needs some attention, but it looks really good, considering. So might actually save this after all. We're gonna see. It's really starting to work now. This is actually kind of exciting. If you have never seen or done this before, this is obviously a little bit more pale than this, but we're gonna get that color back out. I'm not worried about that. What I'm worried about is it being smooth. Now I can still see a decent amount of high spots here, and so I'm gonna go after those here in just a second with a little bit more 800. But it mostly is looking really good. So I need to come back in here, knock that some more down, and then we're gonna come back after it with the 2000 grit, and then we're gonna buff it. So we're not far from getting this dude done. This is coming out rather nice, and I think it's gonna buff out really well too, and I'm excited. It'd be nice to have fixed my issues here. And well, yeah, let's just get back after it. We are coming out better than I thought it was going to. Or as good, maybe. I don't know. I'm going to stop here. There's still some high lines in here. But I don't want to take too much off because this paint still got some high lines and stuff like that. So kind of want to try to match it. I could keep going and get this like a really mirror smooth finish, but then it's going to stick out like a sore thumb. So yeah, we're getting ready to, now let's get to the buffing part of this. I can kind of tell because when I got this wet, I can look at this LED line from the light above, and it's really clear here. So I need to stop. It looks really good. I made a boo-boo up here where I sanded a little bit through the paint, which I can fix that with some touch-up paint later. But overall, It's better than a big old peeling spot on the hood or 2 big primer spots on the hood. And well, now let's buff it out and see how we can get that to work for us. So let me go get all the supplies for that. It's time to make this thing shine. This is nice and dry now. You can see the final product of the wet sanding. And that was just with a couple of runs of 800 and then a couple runs of 2000. And again, I've left a little bit of high marks in here because the rest of the paint's like that. This paint's not perfect. It's a driver quality car. It's got a lot of flaws, but it's fun to drive and it's pretty, but it's not a show car. But anyway, let me show you guys what we're gonna do now. Meguiar's 105. You can get this stuff at your local Harbor Freight, or you can order online. This stuff is awesome when it comes to pulling out really heavy scratches. Well, when we sanded it, that's kind of what we did. We heavily scratched it. But you got to be careful with it because it will bite through some paint. So you don't want to use a whole lot. You don't want to leave it in one area at a time. But I use this a lot for some paint restorations. I've got a couple on the channel. If you want to go back and check it out, my C10 or the Ram Charger that I restored, or not restored, but you know, got the paint back and sold it off. And yeah, it came out really good. And this is always kind of my go-to for the start of this project. Then we're going to go to a cleaner wax. I'll show you guys that here in a little bit. But I'm going to show you guys like one of my favorite tools in the world. My wife bought this for me a couple years ago, and I didn't know how to use it for a long time. I probably didn't use it for about a year, but this is Meguiar's dual action rotary buffer. So, or AKA a DA polisher. And I've got a Chemical Guys pad on it. Now, this is probably the wrong pad, but it's the only one I got left, and I didn't realize that. So I've got some new ones on the order because we're going to be doing some paint restoration on the Magnum here before too long. Also probably on my F-150, which it needs some work too. So I think this is going to be okay for now. It's not an end-all be-all, but since we're only working with an area this big, I think we're going to be able to make it work. So basically, you can kind of see the application from here. You swirl and defect mover, you want a little bit higher RPM, 4800, 5800, and then waxing and polishing, lower RPM. This is the controls. I'm probably going to go in between the 48 and 5800, like right there. And yeah, I'm just going to go over this kind of soft and not put a lot of pressure down. I'm going to let this buffing wheel kind of work into it. Before I do it, I'm going to clean it off one more time with some glass cleaner, and then just kind of get after it. All right, some more glass cleaner. You don't want to pull any kind of stuff through that paint. I'm going to do a bigger area than usual because I might go a little wider. Now, from what I've been taught, when you're doing this, or even when you're washing a car, some people, I would say it might be common knowledge, but if you wash your car like this, that's what puts swirl marks in it. So you always kind of want to go with the body line of the car and in one direction. Don't do this and then come back here and do it sideways, because that's counterproductive. But all right, we got this nice and clean over any area that we're gonna buff. Okay, take the 105, shake it up real good because I haven't used it in a while. I'm gonna put it out on the pad first. I'm probably contaminating my surface by doing it that way. Oh well, what's done is done. All right, I'm just gonna kind of get it spread out over the area I want to work, which is about half of it. Holding it kind of funny because I'm at a limit here on my cable, and I don't want to scratch the car up. So I'm gonna start it slow. And then I'll speed it up. On this stuff, it works in pretty good. You can obviously, if you see the pad, it's pulling some paint off, so obviously it's working. Definitely use a terry towel to wipe this stuff off. The microfiber doesn't work that great, but we're gonna try it anyway. But you just kind of work it in until it starts cleaning up that pad. Holy crap. Well, I think I could have done some more sanding, but that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Wow. I'm gonna take it. All right, I got some work to do here, and then I'll keep working on it, but that's not bad. It's kind of hard to see from the camera, but if you use the light reflection as a guide, you can see the difference. There's an unbuffed part and there's buffed part. So that's super cool. I may have saved this after all. At least good enough for the girls' wee day, right? So just gonna keep doing that until I'm done, and then I'll show you what we're doing next. Here's the verdict. I still need to go over it with a cleaner wax, which I'm going to do here in a minute, but not half bad. It could be better. The spray pattern of that pre-val that I used really messed me up, and it's probably real hard to see on here, but you can still see how unlevel it is. It probably needs some more sanding. But if I do more sanding, I might pull too much paint off. So I'm just going to make peace with it as is, because, hey, it's shiny. And that's, you know, shiny's going for it, because the car still has nicks and chips and stuff like that. But that color match is not too bad. Obviously, it didn't blend really well because I don't know how to blend. But it's not bad, especially, you know, sitting a little bit away from the car. Like, that thing shined up pretty good. Like I said, you can still see some of the spray pattern from that pre-val that just didn't work out well. I got a little thin on the character line. I'm gonna have to touch that up with some touch-up paint. But I'm happy with it. Like, it's not perfect, and once I learn and go buy a gun, you know, a real paint gun, which I'm going to do here soon, and I kind of learn how to figure that out and how to paint with that stuff, I think I might be able to get some of this done. Heck, we might even put some color on this thing, which that would be super cool. But I'm happy with it. So let me hit it with the cleaner wax and then come back and show you guys. This might be in my favor because this is like a buffing or polishing pad that I'm using, and it doesn't cut as much, which that's probably a good thing in this scenario, because I might be burning through the paint if this thing was a whole lot more abrasive. So I'm going to use this white pad that I got left here, and Meguiar's cleaner wax, which is right here, and I'm going to go over it probably 2 more coats with that stuff, and then I'll polish it up and call it a day. And I'll eventually cover the whole hood with a sealer or wax. I just need to get it out and be able to wash it before I do the whole thing. But all right, let's do cleaner wax, and then I'll show you the final result. I just let the cleaner wax dry. So now it's just time to pull it off. And we're gonna be done. Check that out. It is not a job I would have been happy if I paid for, but it's good enough that I did it myself for now, and I'm okay with it. It's better than it was. It's a lot better than 2 spots on the hood that are bare paint that looked like that. And well, you know, I might come back in here and sand some more and buff it some more, but for right now I'm very happy with it. Came out pretty good for the amount that I have in it, which is about 50 bucks. I'll take it. It's a $50 job, but I learned a lot, and can't put a price on that. I definitely learned a ton. So all right, for now I'm done with it. I got a couple little things to do. I gotta try to fix that little spot that's starting to come off on the fender for the same reason, brake fluid on a rag, but it is what it is. Like I said in the very beginning of this video, I am an amateur. This did not come out professional, but it came out good enough for this driver quality of a car. Take my advice very lightheartedly, because I don't know what I'm doing and I'm learning as I go, and I can only share with you kind of what works and what doesn't work for me. Doesn't mean it's the right way to do it, or doesn't mean that I might not be causing damage. I don't think I am, but just be careful. And but you know, it doesn't hurt to try some of these things on a vehicle like this that's not got perfect paint, that's a driver quality, that you know, it looks, you know, I fixed an issue that was there, good enough for me to take it to the cruise ins and drive it on down the road and go get ice cream in it and have fun. So anyways, you know, this it's a learning process. That's all I can say. So thanks a lot for everybody that commented on the last video about this and give me some tips and stuff. I appreciate it. It did sand out pretty well. And hey, you know, maybe the next time we try to paint something, it'll be this. Gramps is good. So I don't know. We'll come across that line when we get there. We obviously have a bunch of projects and we always got something going on. We're about to really start getting after Gramps here really soon, as well as the 8.8 swapping this and getting this thing back together. So come along. If you are new to the channel, we've always got something going on, and we try to upload at least once a week. Hope to change that maybe next year, but for now, at least once a week. And you know, we'd love to have you along. So if you're interested, please consider subscribing. If you're already subscribed, you guys mean the absolute world to us, and we certainly appreciate it. We're almost at 150 episodes. We're a little over 3,000 subscribers, and I would never have believed a couple years ago we'd be where we're at. We're not giant YouTube stars, but we do have fun with what we're doing. And the fact that you guys watch it and comment and interact is just, it makes it all worthwhile. So thank you very, very much. With that said, I'm going to shut it down. Thanks for watching. If you have any more tips and tricks and you've done this stuff before, hey, let me know. I'm happy to hear it. Until next time, you guys know the deal. Y'all be good.